Hey yo, what is up? Today what I have for you is the Tier 10 Lion. If you're Italian, it's called the Leon. Pretty cool looking. Looks like it is a Italian medium tank based off from a Leopard 1 what do you call it, platform. Basically it is a new turret on top of a Leopard 1 platform, which means the hull of a Leopard 1 and completely redesigned turret on top of a Leopard 1 hull. This is the Tier 10 Lion now. The rumor is this was suggested to be one of the Clan War reward tanks, one of the suggestions that was supposed to be the Clan War reward tank during the Renaissance event, which was like a couple of seasons ago, where the reward was the Caro Combattimento. So instead of this tank, they rolled out the Caro Combattimento, but nevertheless, here it is, Tier 10 Lion. We're going to go through the specs and we're going to compare it with the current German Leopard, which is already in game. I mean, you can see the similarities here. The tank is basically the same hull, but you can see the turret is completely different. In fact, if I'm being honest, the one that is in-game looks a lot more polished. It looks like it's got more stuff, more complete. You know, maybe this one that we have in Super Test right now is not completed. Maybe there's a little bit more work to be done. We'll see what happens. But this tank did exist in the past. It was it had some kind of name called the QF whatever 40 or something, but it did exist, and it was real. I think they made like a couple of prototypes, and it did exist in the past, and here it is in action. They did test it out, so it was a real thing, and now it is here as a Tier 10. And now the other news that I have for you is there's not a lot of hoo-ha about it on the EU and NA servers, and that is because I have a little bit of rumor that this is going to be a Chinese server special, so it could be limited to their server. I don't know the full story yet, but I'm gonna assume the full story will come out in a few days or in a few weeks, but at the moment that's the rumor I hear. It is a Chinese server special, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, this tank is an auto reloader, 420 alpha damage, just like German Leopard 1 420 alpha damage, but this one has 4 shells. We'll start off with the hit points. This tank has 1800 hit points. I think the Leopard 1 has 1850 hit points, so less hit points on the Italian Leopard called the Leon. What else is next? The horsepower, 830 horsepower on this puppy. On the German tank, it's also 830 horsepower. On the German tank, the weight is 42 tons, and the power to weight ratio on the Italian tank is 19.3, while the German Leopard is 20.75 on 42 tons. We don't know the weight of the Lion yet, and the weight of the tank is going to determine exactly how mobility is going to affect this tank. For example, if this is going to be a very light tank, then it's going to have better mobility than the Leopard 1. But if I'm taking a look at the specs, I got a feeling that the Lion is going to be actually heavier than the Leopard 1, and therefore the power to weight ratio and the mobility is going to be worse than the Leopard 1. Why do I say that? Because this is a completely new turret. This is not a Leopard 1 turret. This is an up-armored turret. This turret has got a lot of armor, which means I think it's going to be heavier, which means I think it's going to be slightly slower, worse mobility than the Leopard 1. That is my guess. I am just extrapolating from from the stats that's available to us right now. Like I said, this is an auto reloader, and the way it works is the reload time 13 seconds, second shell 10 seconds, third shell 8 seconds, and then the last shell 21 seconds, which makes this a really weird auto reloader because basically you can fire 3 shells, but if you decide to fire the last shell, the 4th shell, it's going to take 21 seconds before it reloads again. So basically you do not want to fire your 4th shell. You want to keep this thing a 3-shot auto loader, if you may, auto reloader. So the intra clip is 5 seconds. It has 4 shell. Again, I mentioned to you 4 shell auto reloader. The timing is 13, 10, 8 and 21. The 4th shell 21 seconds to reload, so you never ever want to fire off your last shell. You want to save it right to the end. That is what I'm getting out of this tank. The dispersion on this tank, 0.40 dispersion, extremely bad dispersion. But I was telling you, this thing has a lot of turret armor. The hull armor is exactly the same as a Leopard 1, which is 70 millimeters of frontal hull armor, 30 on the side, 25 at the back. Leopard 1 is also 70 in the front, 35 on the side and 25 at the back. So just 5 millimeters more armor on the Leopard 1 on the side, but otherwise basically the same hull, same armor. But the turret armor 180 frontally, and also you need to take into account the slopiness, the pointiness of the frontal mantlet, you could say. It's going to be bouncing a lot of shells with that 180 of millimeters of frontal armor. So a stronger turret means heavier tank, which means, in my opinion, the mobility is going to be slightly less, because if you look at the traverse, it is 45 degrees per second, and I think on the Leopard 1, the mobility or the traverse is slightly better than what you expect on the Italian tank. The tank traverse on the Leopard 1 is 52.15, while the Lion is 45 degrees. So significantly slower hull traverse. Like I said, this tank I think is going to be heavier than the Leopard 1, but the turret traverse 52 degrees turret traverse. If you compare that with the Leopard 1 has turret traverse of 41 degrees. So the Lion has better turret traverse but worse hull traverse. So maybe it will even out that way. If you are turning your turret to aim at something, it'll be better. But yeah, let's talk, now that we've talked a little bit about the mobility, we're going to talk back about the gun again. The penetration on this gun, 258 stock penetration with AP shells. Now the Leopard 1 stock shells are APCR with 278 penetration. So Leopard 1, much better penetration with that stock shell of APCR, also a better shell. But the premium shell on the Lion is also APCR with 323. Exactly the same as the Leopard 1, 323 penetration with also APCR. But Remember, this is an auto reloader. You can fire 3-4 shells every 5 seconds if you choose to. So the auto reloading time, the intra clip time of 5 seconds makes this a little bit worse than the Caro Combattimento and the Progetto. I think Progetto 65, I think they have 4 seconds intra clip, so you know they clip out a little bit better than the Leon, and that is the early information that I have for you about this tank. I don't know if it's coming to the rest of the world. The rumor is it's for Chinese server, but we'll see. In a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, we'll find out exactly whether this tank is going to be introduced to the rest of the world. But yeah, that's what I have for you on the Lion. I have a little bit of bonus tank for you, which is from the anniversary rewards. This is the Coral Camo. There's a bunch of 2D styles that is going to be introduced starting from tomorrow, together with the anniversary Wargaming 12th year anniversary. Out of all the 2D styles, I think this one is the nicest, the funkiest, and it looks the coolest. That's just my opinion. This is definitely the 2D camo that I am going after. I don't really care about the rest. They don't look as cool as this one. This one looks really cool. I like this one. So yeah, that's all the news that I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye bye.